Choo, choo, choo. All right, and we are officially live on YouTube. Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome. Good afternoon. My name is Michelle Anuntua, co-owner of Harmony's Divine Design, where I work alongside the amazing T Weaver. At Harmony's Divine Design, we work with new and seasoned entrepreneurs, helping you guys get out of that stuck place. So we do that by offering one-on-one business coaching, online classes, and products and services to help streamline your workflow. So today we're actually here for a really fun reason. And that's streamlining our workflow, trying to make this entrepreneur life that we have a little bit easier. I know for me personally, when I first started out, I had a lot of pain points that I just couldn't figure out or had a hard time figuring out. One being content, making sure I get my content out there. How am I even supposed to do it? What am I supposed to say? Another issue was marketing. So once I got the content together, how am I actually sharing this? How am I relaying this? And of course, sales. So when it comes to sales, a lot of us, a pain point that I hear very often is many of us do not want to feel salesy. We don't want to necessarily feel like we are, the used car salesman, buy me, buy me, buy me, buy me, buy me. But instead, we want to make sure that we're offering value and we're offering what it is our customer base actually needs. So today, I am actually holding a current class as you guys are joining me right now, to show you how to create a tool that will streamline your workflow. So for this class, we are going to create a customized generator that is designed directly for you, how you work, and for your business. So before we get into the nitty gritty of ChatGPT, as always, I do have a presentation for you guys just to go over and help you identify why this particular tool would be essential for you to put in your toolbox. All right, so let me go ahead and share my screen. Can you guys see my screen okay?
Yes.
Yep. All right, cool. All right, so right now, when it comes to streamlining your workflow, I know that if you're not working in a CRM system, it can be kind of scattered, meaning that you have a little bit of information here, you have a little bit of information there. You might have, 20 different chats asking ChatGPT to build you a content plan, to build you a marketing plan, right? So today we're focusing on how we can actually centralize that to create a well thought out branded message for every interaction that we are going to do. All right. So the purpose of class today, we are going to sit down and identify exactly where our struggles are. So is it in finding the language to relate it to our customers via marketing? Is it via sales? Do we have issues with strategy? Do we need maybe an assistant to help us keep track of our calendar or even help us plan our content? We're going to sit down and discuss that a little further. The next, once we identify them, we're going to map out a way that we can provide a solution for those pain points. We're going to effectively communicate what it is that we need for Chatty to do. So we're pretty much going to get rid of the, hey, Chatty, I need content, help me out prompts and give it a more direct prompt so it knows exactly what it is we're looking for, and we don't have to continuously do a bunch of retyping and revamping when it comes to talking to Chatty. And of course, lastly, we're going to go ahead and build our custom generator. This we are going to do in Canva code. So we're going to go through some steps, and of course, this is an interactive class where you will be able by the end of class to have created your own generator for your workflow. So why exactly does this matter? Well, first, if you're constantly reaching out to your customers, but your messaging is inconsistent, it kind of creates a boundary. It kind of creates a blockage because your customer really doesn't know how you're coming or what angle you're coming from and what is your main focus. All right. Next, I know a lot of times we get these divine downloads and we want to rush things out. Well, that ultimately impacts our conversion rate and how our sales perform. So we want to make sure that not only are we creating a tool that makes things efficient, but we're creating a tool that will improve and be productive within our workflow. All right. Next is your some processes they don't scale. You know, during busy season, there's a lot of times we can let things slip through the cracks. It's not necessarily because we're not thinking about them, but it's because there's so many little nuances to do. You know, we're heading into fourth quarter. We have the holidays coming up, so that means that your inventory is now shifting from, of course, the summer seasons and back to school. Now we're starting to think about, you know, Halloween and Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, the whole tidbit. So with that, it comes a lot of little nuances, right? So you have to make sure you get your products created. You have to make sure that you let people know that they're there, you're engaging and you're communicating with your audience. There are a lot of different things that happen in order for you to move out a product. So with that, this particular generator is going to make those steps a little bit easier and cut down your work time. So why are these pain points? So one may be brand inconsistency. You may have multiple digital stores. You may have an Etsy shop. You may have a stand store. You may have beacons, Instagram, Pinterest, and you have each one looks a little different. Each one is saying different messages, and it's not a concise message that you want to give to your audience. You know, so if someone was to see me on YouTube and they go over to my TikTok, the branding of me being a business coach transfers from a YouTube presentation over to TikTok because how information is presented. You want to make sure that communication is fluid. All right. Next, we are spending a lot of time reinventing the wheel rather than using templates to help us out. So, what does that do? Well, first, again, by us using so much time, that means we're being productive, but it's really counteractive. Okay, so we're doing a bunch of things, but nothing is moving. We want to make sure that what we produce, we can move out and move on to our next project. All right. Next is seasonal promotional stress. Again, as I mentioned before, we're coming into the fourth quarter. So we want to make sure that all those gift idea products that we created, our special packages, those wrap up sessions for this year are promoted effectively. And we can't promote it effectively if we're constantly going back into ChatGPT, reinventing the wheel. Hey, listen, I need you to redo this, redo this, redo this. All right. Ultimately, not only can it lead to content burnout, but it can lead to burnout for yourself. Because if we are constantly doing something and not seeing the fruits of our labor, not seeing the production from it, it can create a negative space. So, overall, this particular generator today is going to assist us in calming a lot of these pain points down. So, what is the value? Well, first, by creating a Canva code generator similar to a GPT and ChatGPT, you are saying, hey, listen, I want to have a centralized focus, right? I want to pinpoint this particular topic or this particular type of art, etc. And that's what I want to work on. The ultimate purpose for it is to cut down on that repetitive behavior of creating the wheel again, right? We want to make sure that we have something that we can put in a few clicks, type in a few lines, and the message and the output that we receive is consistent across the board. All right. Next, This will help you create the templates that you need for your promotions and for your product launches. This is something that I know for me personally was a pain point in the beginning and still at times is a pain point because again, it's a nuance. It's something we have to do, but maybe not necessarily like to do. But having something in place to streamline that for us kind of cuts down on that back and forth with ourselves. All right. Also, most importantly, you maintain your brand consistency. So by programming a generator to respond and act a certain way that fits your brand, that fits your type, every time you have an output, it will be customized to you. Okay. So that's going to be in its knowledge. And lastly, professional quality results. So you want to make sure that with everything that you produce, that it is on a professional level, meaning that it looks like it took the time, you put the dedication into it, you panned it out from start to finish. You know, you don't want to put something together, it looks a little rinky dink. Not trying to be smart. You want to make sure that when you are presenting a product for your business, it's in the best light. So take your time and make sure that you're creating something that is going to show exactly who you are, what your business are, and what you're capable of. So, how exactly is this generator going to work? Well, first, we're going to go ahead and have a chat with Chatty and identify some of these pain points. You know, some of those things that you constantly ask Chatty about, constantly ask Chatty to do for you and your business. We're going to grab those details and we're going to then create a template for it. So what we'll do is actually create presets for our generator that will help us implement what it is that we need. So today's class flow, we're going to go ahead and wrap this presentation up on YouTube, but in Zoom, we're going to continue the conversation and we're going to further talk about those pain points and map out where exactly we are having those bottlenecks. From that, we're going to do a little bit more deep diving with ChatGPT and a little bit more conversation and create the generator that will best suit us for the needs that we have. So, quick question for those that are joining me in the Zoom today. Where do you lose most of your time when it comes to, you know, getting the word out or doing all the things in your workflow for your business? Where do you feel you spend the most time?
Getting the word out.
Getting the word out? Okay.
The promotion side, I think, is the where I spend the most time. Hitting multiple platforms, making sure it sounds right, that it connects with the audience in an effective manner. Um, I would say the last two, the mock-ups and the promotions, I think they work hand in hand.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, we are going to work today to make sure that we cut that time down that you're working on. All right. So for those over in YouTube, I greatly appreciate you joining us. If you would like to continue the class and working with us, I'm going to go ahead and drop the link below for you to join us over in Zoom. And yeah, so we're going to go ahead and get started, and I will holler at you guys later. All right, so let me go ahead